Hi, I'm Rob Morris and I'm going to be making a crème caramel with caramelised figs and toasted almonds. So 80 grams of caster sugar, go straight into a frying pan, and a little bit of cold water. And what we do, we just give it a little shake and the sugar will dissolve into the water. So what we need to do is just turn this into a beautiful dark caramel. The darker you take it, you don't want to take it too far so it becomes bitter, but if it's too light, it'll be too sweet, okay? So it's just getting that right colour. So I'll show you that shortly. Okay, so our sugar now has dissolved. What I can do is just lift the pan up and you can see it's this wonderful brown sort of colour. I'm just going to lift the caramel over to the ramekins and we're just going to put a little bit in each one and then working as quickly as I can. What I'm going to do is just move the caramel around the base of the ramekin and just moving it round like so, just so it coats down the sides a little bit. Right, so stage 2, we get a saucepan and I've got 500 mils of whole milk and I want to flavour that with one of these little fellas. Let's take our vanilla pod and then just draw the knife up the vanilla pod. So basically what you should end up with is 2 halves of a vanilla pod, like so, okay? And scrape all that beautiful black goodness out of there. That's what you want, that's the vanilla. That goes straight into our milk. And what I like to do is actually put the actual remainder of the vanilla pod in the milk too, okay? Just bring it up to like a nice scalding point and then we'll take it off the heat. We've got 80 grams of caster sugar, that goes into the bowl. We want 2 whole eggs and I also want 3 egg yolks. Okay, so what we need to do now is we're going to whisk our eggs. So you can see there that those eggs and that sugar have gone quite pale in colour, nicely aerated. And what we're going to do now is going to take our warm milk and slowly add the milk. So basically what we're doing here is just making a custard. Whisking. And that will do. Okay. Right, so the next thing we need to do, just to make life a little bit easier, is I've got a jug here. Pour the custard mixture into a jug. All that vanilla in there, that's it. I'm just going to take some of the foam off the top of it until we're left with our nice custard underneath there. Okay. So what we've got here is our ramekins with that caramel, lovely, hard, it's almost like a sheet of glass now. What we do is we pour our custard mixture over the caramel. So we've got some scalding water and we're just going to fill 3/4 of the way up. So now what we're going to do is pop them into the oven. The oven is set and preheated at 160 degrees. So I'd probably do it at like 165, 170 in a non-fan assisted oven. And this is going to take about an hour. Okay, moment of truth. We're going to go and check our crème caramels in the oven, see how they're doing. So as I said before, what we're after here is they need to be firm to touch and have a slight wobble on them, okay? So I'm just going to pop in my knife just in the middle, and if it comes out clean, okay, then it's ready. So they're ready. So what I've got here, fish slice, a nice clean tray. So I'm just going to lift the ramekin carefully, slide him up onto the fish slice, then onto my tray. So what I will do now is just leave these out somewhere nice and cool, just until they get to room temperature, and then pop them in the fridge for about 2 hours, and then they will set beautifully. Right, so our creme caramels have been in the fridge for about 2 hours. They are cooled completely. So what we do is I've got a little bit of water in this jug, hot water from the kettle. Dip the tip of my knife in it and then just dry the knife off. So the knife is still hot, but obviously there's no water on it. And then just carefully put your knife down the side of the creme caramel, keeping it pressed against the ramekin, very important, and just run the knife around the edge. And then take your plate and then put your plate over the ramekin and then just invert the whole thing and then fingers crossed, and that's what you end up with. Nice little wobbly creme caramel. Now that's not it for this recipe, okay? I want to serve this with a little bit of a caramelized fig and a few toasted almonds. Just 3 simple ingredients. I've got a frying pan here, and it's all I'm going to do is add about a tablespoon of honey. So honey goes into the pan, and we're just going to let that come to like a foaming point. So shouldn't take too long, maybe a minute or so. In the meantime, I've got some wonderful figs. These are black figs. Halve them. I'm going to go straight in with the fig, but flesh side into the pan. Get that little fizz and that's what we're after. So we're going to go in with a few almonds. These are just flaked almonds, and just scatter a few of those around the edge. And this will just give you a little crunch, because obviously the creme caramel is like really soft and delicate, you know, because it is custard essentially that we've just made. So what we want to do is just sort of slowly cook them in the honey. You can almost see that they're caramelizing. You know, the almonds are sort of going this sort of like toffee, golden brown colour. That's what we're after. Give them a little shake around, keep them moving in the pan. And what we've got here is these beautiful almonds, which will add a little bit of crunch to the dish. So just simply take a few of those almonds, just let them sit on top. It's probably best if you just let them cool down a fraction. We'll take one of those lovely figs. Ladies and gentlemen, is what I call a dessert.